Hello everyone, Alexey Katko here, your life direction mentor. This channel is dedicated and focused on helping you learn how to answer life's biggest question. What should I do with my life next? In today's video, I want to introduce who I am, what I do, and why I do it. Who am I? I was born in an immigrant family, and around age 4, my parents moved myself and my 5 siblings to America. Being kid number 5 of 6, by the time my parents got around to me, to spending time with me, well, there was no energy. And as I was growing up in America, it was, for me personally, a huge challenge in trying to figure out what do I want to do with my life. And that question started very early in my life. And since my parents couldn't teach me, they didn't have the energy, the skill, or the ability to help me figure out what I should be doing with my life next, frustration just kept on building up more and more. Until my grandpa stepped alongside me and started helping me figure out what I want to do next with my life. And shortly thereafter, I figured out what I wanted to do. I was going full steam ahead until I had an explosion accident, like literally an explosion accident. That landed me in the hospital for 2 years. I went through 9 operations and I was just in survival mode. By the time I recovered, everything I wanted to do, I no longer wanted to continue doing. And so I was back to square one. Lucky for me, my grandpa was right there. Unlucky for me, he passed away shortly after I recovered because he had cancer. Before my grandpa passed away, I was asked to be his caretaker, and I got to see so much of my grandpa and how he lived his life. And what really stood out to me was so many people from all over the country and from all over the world, like Germany and Russia, were calling him to ask him for help on what they should do next, how to figure out what to do next in their life. And as I watched this, I was blown away. And my grandpa did this up until 3 days before he died. And the only reason he stopped was because he could not breathe anymore. That's the only reason why he stopped. And on the day of his funeral, I remember standing there, everybody left, and the cemetery said everybody has to leave. And there's a rule in Massachusetts that when you bury somebody, everybody has to leave, and then they put them in the ground because they have to be, there's a bunch of rules. That aside, everybody left, but I stayed behind. I knew the cemetery caretakers, and they let me stay behind. And I might have been there for about an hour standing there and just thinking through my grandpa's life. And then I made a promise. I made a promise to the universe that I will figure out this skill so that I can go and help others just like my grandpa. As I stood there looking at that pile of dirt, I looked up and I said, I promise you, universe, I promise you that I will figure this out and I want to be just like my grandpa. And instantly, this thought came to my mind. No, Alexey, you don't want to be just like your grandpa. You want to help people like your grandpa did. Which leads me to the part 2. What do I do? Every one of us has experienced this moment in our life when we have to decide, do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go up, down? What do I do next with my life? It can happen at any point in your life. When I was a teenager, that's when I first started thinking, what should I do with my life? Because I knew what I started doing in 9th grade would affect me greatly by the time I become a senior. It can happen when you're in high school, when you're a young teen. It can happen when you're in college. I've talked to a lot of college students who are like, I'm studying this, but I don't like it. I don't want to do this. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to figure out, and I have no idea how to figure this out. It could be when you're in a career and you're just sick and tired of it and you want to do something different. You might be feeling that you're unfulfilled in what you're doing. Maybe you started doing life development, personal development, and you're realizing that there's more to life than just action, 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 action. You want to make your life count more. I've talked to plenty of senior citizens who are at the same point trying to figure out, what should I do next with my life? This question comes in it can come in any point in your journey. And that's what I dedicated my life towards. I wanted to figure out exactly what is this picking life direction all about? How do you do it? How do I find mentors who can teach me to do it? And then how can I learn how to pass on this skill to others so you, the listener, can learn it for yourself and then pass it on to the people in your life who matter to you. Why is this so important to me? Well, there was another experience in my life that just blew me out of the water and just set my trajectory on, really solidified that this is what I will be doing. When I lived in Savannah, Georgia, one day I get a phone call from my sister and she's like, "Did you hear the news?" And I was like, "No, what happened?" And what happened was one of our longtime family friends with whom we moved to America, he ended up taking his own life, a young guy, and I saw his struggles and I saw the things that he would be asking on social media and posting and trying to figure out this whole life thing and what he should be doing with his life. And he just ended up taking his life. Not 10 minutes later, I call a completely different friend who he was not part of that circle. I call him and I just wanted to just be encouraged at least about life. I call him. He picks up the phone and he's like, "Alexey, did you hear the news?" And I'm like, "No, what happened?" He's like, my brother-in-law took his own life." So within 10 minutes, two people took their own lives that I found out. It just shifted something in my mind. And that day, I just went to a local coffee shop and I sat there from about, at that point it was about noon, from noon to about 12 at night. I knew the coffee shop owner, so they let me stay there. And I just said, what am I going to do with my life? Like, what am I going to dedicate myself towards? And what I didn't mention is that years before, I had a brother-in-law who also took his life, who I really knew very well, which also just like shifted something within me. And all of this was pushing me towards one thing. I had a choice to make. Do I suffer with this consequence of not knowing how to pick a life direction? Or do I recommit myself and figure this out, figure out the process, figure out the journey for myself first, and then turn around and start helping others? And in my life, 4 times I had to completely reset my life direction because of accidents. That is the reason why I'm so passionate about helping others figure out the question to their life of what should I do next. If you don't answer this question, it can be demoralizing. It could be repressive. It could make you feel just not just down in the dumps, but it just makes you not want to continue living when you can't figure out for yourself, what should I do next in my life, and be confident about the decision you made and be clear about it. 4 times in my life, I had to clarify what I wanted to do with my life. Life gave me so many opportunities to learn how to pick a life direction. I naturally just started turning around and helping people who had the same question and were trying to figure that out. And as I did that year after year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, I was first able to help younger people who were younger than me, and then people who were my age, and then people who were older than me, and then people who were a lot older than me. And I realized that, wow, I figured out this step-by-step process. I figured out this journey of how to help people figure out what they want to do next with their life. And so, who am I? I am Alexey Katko, a life direction mentor. Not a teacher, not a preacher, not a leader, but a mentor. Because I'm passionate about passing on this skill to the next person so that then they can take it and pass it on to the people in their lives. I don't want to just teach you. I want to help you learn this skill for yourself and then learn how to pass it on. I've experienced countless times what it means to not know how to answer this question. I've helped people and I watched the tragedy that can unfold if you're not able to answer these questions. And I've also been watching when people are able to answer this question for themselves and then go on to live the next best level of their life. You see, I never took this skill seriously as in taking it to the next level and sharing with the world. I always thought that I'm just going to help people one-on-one. And then in 1 week, I had 4 people just reach out to me who I helped, and they said, "Alexey, you got to start doing this full time because you can help so many people." And something was just like, I do have a responsibility. Now that I have this skill, it is my responsibility to pass on this skill to the next person, to the next generation. And then I sat down and asked myself, okay, I've been helping people for so many years now. What is the process? At first, it was challenging, and then I realized that it's a very clear and evident journey. It's not something that you can do overnight, but you can do over the course of a few weeks. And that's why I created 3 separate PDFs for you. Yes, I do have an online course that teaches you step by step of what to do, when to do it, and encourage you what are going to be the challenges that you're going to be facing so that you can actually complete this journey, so that you can be able to answer this question of what should I be doing with my life next, because it comes up throughout your life. My whole process, I offer it to you completely for free if you want to learn. In other words, the 3 blueprints, you're going to have complete access to them for free. Yes, for free. Why do I give it out for free? Because I want to make sure that at least 43 million people hear this message, because that is a tipping point I want to reach for this life in this world. It's a big number, but that's the goal. And so, yes, although I'll be giving you these blueprints away for free, if you're willing and able, you go through them step by step, you'll be able to start figuring out how to pick your own life direction and that skill of picking your life direction. But if you want to take it a lot more serious and you want to be part of a community, then the course is the way, and it's not the cheapest one, but definitely not crazy expensive either. So that's why I offer these PDFs. At first, you're going to be able to get access to only the first blueprint, what I call the clarifier map. This helps you figure out to see if you're even at the point in your life to start answering a direction in life. You see, in life we have different phases, and if you try to answer one question if you try to answer question number 10 before you answer question number 1, well, you're wasting your time trying to answer question 2 through 10. Until you answer question 1, the rest don't matter. And that's what's happening in this world of people trying to figure out what they want to do next. In the quarter life, midlife crises, people are answering the wrong questions at the right time, but the wrong questions. And so this first PDF is going to help you understand what phase are you in and what question are you trying to answer and what's the following question you want to answer before you get to the life direction. And once you go through this clarifier map PDF and you feel ready, then I'll offer you the next PDF that you can really start taking this journey to the next level. And once you're done with that, the final phase of how to help others pick their life direction. Thank you so much for watching this video today, and I hope it has been helpful. Again, click that link, sign up for that PDF, and it's yours for free. And there's going to be an email sequence that's going to help you learn step by step so you don't feel overwhelmed on what it all means for you. Please share this video, subscribe to this channel, smash the like button because it's going to help this channel grow. Make sure to share it with at least one person that you know in your life who is asking this question of, what should I do next with my life? Until next time, live, love, and hug everyone you love as long as you live.